Arancini are Sicilian stuffed risotto balls with melty mozzarella. They are comforting and the perfect snack to serve family and friends. Just don't tell them how easy they are to make. Let's go. So arancini are basically risotto balls. So we're gonna start by making the risotto, which is actually a lot easier than a lot of people think. Grab yourself a nice large heavy pan, adding to it about 2 tablespoons of good extra virgin olive oil. I'm using our Italian Nocciolara extra virgin olive oil from the Mediterraneandish.com. Once the oil is nice and hot, we're gonna add to it some onions and some garlic. And we're gonna just toss it about 5 minutes or so until translucent. We just wanna get some color and some smell out of these onions. Smells good and it looks great. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our rice. When you're making risotto, you want to use a short grain rice like Arborio right here. And you don't rinse it in this case because we want it to actually kind of have some of that starch to help make those rice balls. So we're gonna go ahead and pour it right in. Toss it together with the rest. And we're looking for the rice to turn a little bit translucent. I think that's looking good. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and season a little bit of salt and pepper. You want a good teaspoon of salt here because it's your only chance to really season the rice. Then we're adding more flavor with a little bit of parsley here, right in the mix. 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Some recipes will use a lot more. We don't need that here. Some stock, chicken stock. Go ahead and add some tomato paste for color and umami. Not a lot, just a couple of teaspoons. And then we're gonna stir this party together. Our goal at this point is to bring it to a gentle boil, so we're going to wait and see those bubbles form. Then we're gonna turn it down, cover it, and let it simmer for about 25 minutes or until the rice is perfectly tender. At this point, we're gonna let it happily simmer on low, cover it for about 25 minutes or so until the rice is tender. You need to resist the temptation to check on the rice any time before 20 minutes. Just trust me. You want to make sure that it's near done, if not already fully done. So let's take a look. Yeah. So what we're looking for here is the broth is fully been absorbed, and I'm gonna just kind of give it a quick stir, and I'm seeing it. It looks pretty well done, nice and tender. So I'm gonna try the rice before we commit, because once we start making these balls, ain't no going back. Let me try this. Come closer, David. Take a look here. The rice is kind of expanded. It should be like at least doubled or tripled in size. All right, we're in business. The rice is cooked, it's super tender. We're gonna add some parmesan. Oh yeah, flavor party. And we're gonna stir that in to incorporate it. And then what we wanna do is we wanna allow the rice a chance to cool because we need to be able to form it into balls. So we're gonna go here onto this sheet pan. This will help it cool about 10 minutes or so, no big deal. Spread it out. I'm smelling it and it's already so lovely. Smells herby, somewhat nutty and cheesy. It's gonna be great. Okay, so we're gonna just simply spread it on the sheet pan. Let it sit for about 10 minutes so that it's cool enough to handle, and let's go prepare our dredging station. Grab yourself 3 medium bowls. Something like this is fine because we are preparing a breading station. In the first bowl, we're gonna go ahead and add some all-purpose flour, and we're gonna season it with a little bit of salt and pepper and just kind of mix. Perfect. Seasoning the flour is so important because you want to make sure that your arancini are all very tasty from the outside in and inside out, right? So in our second bowl here, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 eggs. Whisk them. And in the third bowl, we just have some breadcrumbs. I'm using panko. I feel like panko is a little bit more crispy. So that's what we have. I have some fresh mozzarella here cut up into small cubes, and this is going to be stuffed within the arancini balls. We're gonna free form this. We're gonna try to do about 18 rice balls. So kind of grab a small handful, form into a ball like so, and then you're gonna kind of make a dent sort of in the middle, and you're gonna kind of just gently encase the piece of cheese with the rice. Right now we're gonna just go ahead and dredge this first rice ball. We're gonna dust it with the flour, and then we're gonna go in here to the egg mixture and then just kind of toss it a little bit, and then we're gonna grab it with one gloved hand and then put it in here. Once you wet one hand, keep that hand sort of away from the dry ingredients. Ta-da! An arancini ball, and that goes right in here. We're gonna repeat the process. Don't worry, this is not hard. Also a great time to involve the family. Arancini is street food from Sicily, and it is so comforting and delicious, and I think of it as a great appetizer when you have people over. I've always ordered it at the restaurant, but never thought to make it at home, so I'm really excited to try it. If the rice is not sticking well, you're just gonna probably need to work with it like it's Play-Doh for a little bit so that you can kind of begin to bind it together. And this might be a messy thing, and it's okay. Once in a while, we wanna get messy in the kitchen. It's fine. Now, all we have to do is fry them up. Let's go. Before you begin, prepare a large plate and line it with paper towel. We're gonna turn the heat on to medium high. I like to use a smaller saucepan so I don't use too much oil. In this case, if you don't want to use olive oil, it is absolutely okay for frying. I'm using our olive oil here, but like I said, I'm gonna use a smaller saucepan so that I don't use too much oil. So we wait for the oil to kind of start bubbling, but we don't want it to start smoking. We are looking at like 350 degrees here if you have a thermometer to check. You can test the oil by taking a crumb and then just dropping it. You want the oil to kind of vigorously form around the crumb. If it doesn't do that, it's not ready yet. So now we can go ahead and see. And it's okay if the oil doesn't fully cover the arancini balls. We are on medium heat at this point. We're gonna gently turn them around. We wanna form a golden brown crust all over the arancini here. And if you like, you can have your oven warmed up just a tad to keep them in there while you finish, but I'm just gonna work quite fast here. 5 or 6 at a time if you like, or however many you can fit comfortably in. Manage the heat though. As it kind of gets hotter, you can manage it down. These are obviously best served as soon as possible so that you can open them up and see the gooey, cheesy, melty goodness right inside. Don't these look great for a little party? They're the first thing that goes anytime I try making them. So, let's see. The crunch, the cheesy goodness, the beautiful flavors in the actual rice with the parsley and the garlic and the onion. This is a great appetizer to serve a small crowd. You can make about 18 or 20 of these in no time. They are delicious, so much better than the restaurant arancini. Give it a try and let me know what you think. I'll see you later. Ciao.